Hi, I'm Jacob Bergson, and my artist name is Taut. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I have a good deal of stuff because I need some stuff in the studio and I need some stuff for live performance, and they're not always the same things. But the way I usually think about it is like the same way I'm a hobbyist cook, for example, and so I have some nice knives, but maybe they top out at around worth 150 euros or something like that. But if I were a sushi chef, maybe I'd need a 4,000 euro knife. And I'm a professional musician, so I also need some, some exotic and some more capable tools than your average hobbyist. Well, I've been making music since I was 5 years old, so it's a hard question for me to answer because music's just always been a part of my life. There was never a moment where I decided, okay, I'm interested in music, I want to do music. It was just always there, always something that I did. And I got serious about it around the time I was 15, 16. And yeah, I've been serious about it ever since.
But what was your touch point? Was it your parents or?
No, my parents aren't musicians, or I mean, it's not like they don't like music, but they like music about the amount of your average person. I don't know. I was just really into it when I was a kid, and they were like. They were aware enough and sensitive enough to just get me lessons really early on. And yeah, I just was attracted to it for some reason. I guess what I most would want to do in music is something really new. So of course it's a very difficult thing to do, to get to that. But if I could just snap my fingers and come up with something completely novel and interesting and influential, I would love to do that. I'm always aiming to make music, first off, that I would love to listen to myself, and also that doesn't sound quite like anything that exists already. I'm always looking for novelty as some aspect of it. It's not so interesting to me to just make a good version of something that somebody else has done before. I'm always asking myself, what is special about this piece of music? And why should I release it? Why should people want to listen to it?
Very experimental, right? Like there are a lot of tracks from you that are kind of novel. Like when I listen to them, I was like, okay, never heard it before. Something like this.
Yeah, I mean, it works for you and against you, you know? Some people like that, some people don't like that. But I would personally, no offense to anybody who's into this, but like, I can't just make normal house tracks or something, because I don't feel like I can bring something to it that's so special that like it deserves attention, but there are other things I can do that I feel like I can, that have more uniqueness and are more different than what other people are doing, and maybe just a different perspective. Of course, everyone has influences, so sometimes those influences come out more than other times. But I'm always aiming to try and make it as fresh as possible.
Sounds reasonable, but also like a challenge.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, just mentally, it can be really difficult, because like, when you're working on something, it's much easier, like mentally and emotionally, to just do the thing that make sense. You know, do the thing that's obvious and makes sense and you've heard before. Especially when you're a trained musician, it's easy to imitate things. But, you know, not letting yourself do that, you know, thinking like, okay, I can play these sort of chords and this sort of bass line and like, it'll sound like this kind of track and I can just say like, okay, that's done and release that. But yeah, to not let yourself do that and say like, no, I'm not moving on until I can come up with something that is more unique. Yeah, it can lead to a lot of frustration and a lot of wasted time. I think for me, the most meaningful moments so far with my solo music have been listening to it played on the radio and the few times that that's happened, and especially the times when the radio DJs have very nice things to say about it. It's just a very validating experience. And it feels, that's probably the single most rewarding moment for me. That's about as high as I get on my own stuff. So when I was living in New York, I went to college in New York for music. So I had a network of people that I had essentially grown up with in a way. And then when I started to work professionally and all those people started to work professionally, I got acquaintances and friends and colleagues from their networks as well. So without really much direct effort, I was able to know quite a lot of people in the scene. Since I've been here in Berlin, I've basically just been contacting people whose music I like directly and asking if they're willing to meet for a coffee or a beer or something like that. It's kind of like, more like dating for musicians. Yeah, it can be really cool. I've met some great people that way. So as a musician, I am trained. I went to school for piano. But as a producer, I'm self-taught. And I think I'm happy with that part of the journey. Like, I feel like I have a strong grasp of the technical side of it, and I didn't need to go to like a recording or production school to achieve that. The only thing I think I might change is that my journey to getting really serious about production was a bit windy. So I would produce some songs, not work on anything for months, produce a few more, not work on anything for a while. And my interest in it and the time spent on it has accelerated over the years. So if there's anything I would change, it would just be to be more serious about it and more committed to it and spend more time on it earlier.